Hello, my name is Bilal Ahmad Khan, and the topic of my dissertation is was evaluating client-side JavaScript frameworks, specifically Svelte and React. Moving on to aims and objective, the aim of this dissertation was to carry out thorough evaluation of both frameworks in terms of performance and developer experience matrices to help web developers make informed decisions. And for the objectives, objectives were conduct a literature review on the existing literature on both frameworks, develop two identical web applications using both frameworks, perform benchmarks for on the both identically developed web applications for comparing performances, and analyzing community support, adoption rates, satisfaction rate, and popularity of both frameworks to analyze the more like the developer experience side of the both frameworks and their current standing in the developer community. For methodology, this study used both quantitative and qualitative analysis to comprehensively evaluate both frameworks. Two types of data were collected for the study: primary data and secondary data. Primary data was focused on more on like analyzing the performance side of the thing of both frameworks, and secondary data was focused on analyzing the community side or the developer experience side. For primary data was collected by developing two identical weather applications with same third-party identical dependencies and performing different benchmarks on them, like measuring load times, page sizes, memory usage, cross-browser performance, and user matrices using GTmetrix, webpagetest.org, and developer-specific tools. For secondary data, the secondary data was collected by analyzing through third-party open source data sources such as State of JS 2022 survey, which is the latest survey. It is a yearly survey. GitHub repository community matrices like stars and like solved and unsolved issues, developer community engagement matrices, and npm weekly npm download history for both frameworks. Moving on to the application demo side, this is the Svelte application. So as you can see, this is a Svelte application. So basically, this is the hourly forecast. This was developed by using charts.js, and this is the current weather details, and these are the additional details like pressure, humidity, and all those matrices, extra weather details. This is the forecast detail for like 3 days. So basically, like the API is used was weatherapi.com, and the API they provided was like the free version only provided 3 days of forecasting. And so also like this part denotes what time of day it is on the location searched, like it denotes if there is it's day or night. Moving on to react app. React app is also identical, same dependencies and same everything. They are both identical as possible, like both identical. Okay, so moving on to the benchmark summary. This is more of a summary, and more comprehensive benchmarks are included in the final dissertation report. Okay, so in terms of if we go to the load times, Svelte has significantly lower load times than React. It loads faster than React. And for the page sizes, this is the React page sizes, and this is our Svelte page size. So React has a bit higher page size than Svelte, specifically because of like both like JavaScript, like Svelte has a much smaller JavaScript, CSS, and HTML compared to React. In terms of memory usage, Svelte use a lot less memory than React. In terms of bundle sizes, the bundle size, Svelte had much smaller bundle size compared to React. In terms of overall user experiences, scores, this is like measured by GT Matrix, and GT Matrix uses Lighthouse at the back end to evaluate all these matrices to basically give the final score. And as you can see, the overall final score is like Sword has a slightly higher score than React. And in terms of in-depth view of this result, you can see like as Svelte basically has a lot less uh, first content page times, contentful page time, meaning that it basically like loads the first content a lot faster than React. Time to interactive is also a lot less on Svelte than on React, and it also has a lot less time in terms of speed index than React. But in terms of total blocking times, we can see like React outperforms Sword like significantly, meaning that React app is can be it it is more responsive once the app has completely loaded from the server. And for like React, Sword also loads the renders the largest component of the UI a lot faster, a bit faster than React. In terms of cumulative layout shifts, like both were identical. So meaning that both have like stable layouts. Okay, and in terms of DOM content loaded, it basically specifies which one like which app initializes the DOM tree faster. So as you can see, like these were performed on two separate browsers, and we can see like Svelte outperforms React in terms of initializing the DOM in pretty much in web both web both browsers. And we can also note that both applications perform better on Chrome than on Firefox. Okay, in terms of measuring the secondary data, like the developer experience evaluation summary. This is the developer experience evaluation summary. So the adoption rate over time. So basically, it's like it's the usage over time taken from State of JS 2020 developer survey. And we can find that from 2016 to 2022, React has like grown significantly, like the adoption rate has like increased significantly for React, and it's being used much more than Svelte, although Svelte's adoption rate has been like increasing consistently. On the developer satisfaction side, the retention matrices were used from State of JS. So since like if the developer is much more satisfied uh, using only if developer is satisfied, then that platform can retain him. So that means that we can say like uh, see that Sword like outperforms React slightly in this matrix, meaning that developers are more satisfied using Sword than React, primarily due to like Sword being a bit easier to use than React. It has a bit easier syntax than React. In terms of GitHub repository solved and unsolved issues, as of 7th September 2023, the so React has significantly higher number of solved issues than React, and like the unsolved issues are pretty much closer. So if we proportionalize them both, we can see like React has much more bigger community and active community, and they solve the problems faster, and like it would be easier to find solutions for problems using React than in Svelte. And also in terms of GitHub repositories, stars, the official repository, both of the official repositories, React has more significantly more stars than Svelte, signifying that Svelte is much more React is much more popular than Svelte. Okay, for the conclusion, okay, so the thing was, if we only consider the performance, at least if it comes to like the single page applications, Svelte is obviously a better choice, because like it is faster in almost all the user experience matrices, although like slightly, but yeah, it was faster, and has smaller bundle sizes, consume less memory, and has smaller code base than React. But results were pretty close in terms of user experiences matrices. On the other hand, React has more larger and active developer community, and is more popular and has very high adoption rate than Svelte. And it also has bigger library of like third party tools and plugins. So it has much more robust and like bigger ecosystem, and it's also backed by a much, and also developed and backed by a much more bigger corporation than Svelte. So, in conclusion, there is no clear winner. It depends on the use case and how complex the project is, and what are the available resources.